4 days after the heartbreaking news spread across the country, fans found themselves asking the same question. What really happened to Peabo Bryson? The legendary singer's passing sent shockwaves through the music world. Tributes poured in from fellow artists, longtime friends, and millions of listeners who had spent decades falling in love with his unforgettable voice. Yet amid the sadness, another mystery quickly began to grow. His wife remained completely silent. No interviews. No public statements. No explanations. As rumors spread across social media and speculation intensified, many wondered what she knew and whether she would eventually reveal the truth behind the final chapter of Peabo Bryson's life. The silence became almost as shocking as the news itself. For years, Peabo Bryson had been one of America's most beloved voices. His music had accompanied weddings, anniversaries, first dances, and countless romantic memories. To millions of fans, he seemed larger than life, a performer whose smooth vocals could transform any song into something unforgettable. But behind the fame was a life marked by struggle, perseverance, and remarkable determination. Born on April 13, 1951, in Greenville, South Carolina, Peabo Bryson entered a world far removed from the glamour he would later experience. Raised in a modest household, he learned early that success was never guaranteed. His family worked hard to make ends meet, and like many young boys growing up in the American South during that era, he faced challenges that would shape his character for the rest of his life. Music quickly became an escape. Even as a child, Bryson displayed a natural gift for singing. Family members noticed the richness of his voice long before he ever stepped onto a professional stage. What began as a childhood talent gradually evolved into a dream. Yet dreams alone were not enough. The road to success was filled with obstacles. Throughout his teenage years, Bryson worked relentlessly to improve his craft. He performed whenever opportunities appeared, learning valuable lessons about audiences, stage presence, and the music business itself. Unlike many overnight success stories, his journey was built on patience. Years passed before the wider public would hear his name. Eventually, professional opportunities began appearing. Bryson joined local groups and gained experience performing in front of increasingly larger crowds. Industry insiders started recognizing something special about his voice. It possessed a rare combination of power and tenderness. Listeners believed every word he sang. That authenticity became one of the defining characteristics of his career. By the late 1970s and early 1980s, Peabo Bryson was finally breaking through. His smooth blend of R&B, soul, and adult contemporary music resonated with audiences across America. Hit songs followed, then more hits. Soon, his reputation as one of the greatest romantic singers of his generation was firmly established. Songs such as "If Ever You're in My Arms Again" became timeless classics. His duets earned widespread acclaim, showcasing a remarkable ability to connect emotionally with listeners. The music industry took notice. Awards followed. Critical praise followed. And eventually, Grammy Awards arrived as confirmation of what fans already knew. Peabo Bryson possessed one of the most distinctive voices in modern music. Perhaps no chapter of his career introduced him to a broader audience than his famous Disney collaborations. When Bryson recorded Beauty and the Beast alongside Celine Dion, the song became an international phenomenon. Suddenly, his voice was reaching households around the world. Years later, A Whole New World with Regina Belle would create another unforgettable moment in Disney history. The songs became cultural landmarks. Generations grew up listening to them. Even people who knew little about R&B music instantly recognized the voice behind those magical performances. Throughout the decades, Bryson maintained a reputation for professionalism and grace. While many celebrities constantly occupied headlines, he often preferred letting his music speak for itself. His influence on R&B and adult contemporary music became undeniable. Countless singers cited him as an inspiration. His vocal style influenced artists across multiple genres. And yet, as the years passed, Peabo Bryson gradually embraced a quieter lifestyle. The spotlight no longer seemed as important as it once had. He continued performing and connecting with fans, but his public appearances became less frequent. Those close to him described a man focused on family, personal happiness, and appreciating the career he had spent decades building. Still, concerns occasionally surfaced. Aging affects everyone. Even legendary performers are not immune to health challenges. Then came a frightening moment that stunned his supporters. In 2019, Bryson suffered a serious heart attack. The news shocked fans around the world. For a time, many feared the worst. Messages of support flooded social media as people prayed for his recovery. The beloved singer faced one of the most difficult battles of his life. But remarkably, he fought back. Doctors treated him. Recovery followed. And over time, encouraging updates began appearing. The comeback inspired countless admirers who viewed Bryson's determination as proof that he could overcome almost anything. As the years passed after the heart attack, many believed the greatest health crisis was behind him. He had survived. He had recovered. And he appeared ready to continue enjoying life. That belief remained strong for years, which is why the reports that emerged in late May of 2026 created immediate confusion. Suddenly, disturbing information began circulating. Sources claimed Peabo Bryson had suffered a major stroke. Fans struggled to understand what was happening. Media outlets raced to verify details. Social media filled with questions. Some reports contradicted others. Some suggested the situation was improving. Others painted a far more alarming picture. No one seemed to know the complete truth. And throughout the growing uncertainty, one person remained silent. His wife. The woman closest to him. The person who knew what was happening behind hospital doors. The person who witnessed events nobody else could see. As reports of Peabo Bryson's medical emergency spread across the country, confusion quickly turned into concern. Fans desperately searched for updates. News organizations attempted to piece together information. Friends and fellow musicians waited anxiously for answers. But behind the scenes, a much more personal battle was unfolding. According to early reports, Bryson had suffered a major stroke during the final days of May 2026. The sudden medical crisis stunned those who knew him because it appeared to come after years of recovery and stability following his heart attack in 2019. Many believed he had already faced and overcome the most dangerous chapter of his health struggles. Now, everything had changed. The man whose voice had soundtracked generations of love stories was suddenly fighting for his own future. In the days that followed, information remained scarce. That lack of information only fueled speculation. Some fans believed he would once again overcome the odds. After all, they had seen him battle back before. His recovery from the heart attack had inspired countless people, and many assumed that the same determination would carry him through this crisis as well. Others were less optimistic. Stroke-related medical emergencies can be unpredictable, and the absence of detailed updates caused growing anxiety among supporters. The situation became even more emotional because Peabo Bryson had always maintained a relatively private personal life. Unlike many celebrities, he rarely turned family matters into public spectacles. He preferred dignity over publicity, privacy over headlines. As a result, very few people outside his inner circle truly knew what was happening during those difficult days. Inside the hospital, doctors worked tirelessly. Medical staff monitored every development. Family members faced agonizing uncertainty. Every update carried enormous weight. Every conversation with physicians brought new hope or new fear. For loved ones, time seemed to move differently. Hours felt like days. Days felt like weeks. And throughout the ordeal, Bryson's wife remained by his side. While fans searched for information online, she was witnessing events firsthand. She saw the moments that never appeared in news reports. She heard the conversations that would never become public. She carried a burden that few could fully understand. The pressure surrounding the situation was immense. Outside the hospital, rumors continued spreading. Some claimed Bryson was improving. Others claimed his condition was worsening. Various reports circulated across social media platforms, often contradicting one another. The uncertainty created an emotional roller coaster for fans around the world. Many revisited his music during this period. Streams of his greatest hits surged. People shared personal stories about how his songs had touched their lives. Couples recalled wedding dances. Families remembered road trips. Others spoke about difficult periods in their lives when Bryson's music had provided comfort. The outpouring of affection revealed just how deeply his voice had become woven into American culture. For decades, he had represented romance, hope, and emotional connection. Now, millions were hoping for one more miracle. As the days passed, however, concern continued to grow. The silence from those closest to him became increasingly noticeable. There were no lengthy public statements, no detailed medical briefings, no dramatic appearances before cameras, only brief updates and mounting uncertainty. That silence left room for endless questions. What was his actual condition? Was he responding to treatment? Were doctors optimistic? Or were loved ones preparing for the possibility of saying goodbye? No one outside the immediate family seemed to know. What made the situation especially heartbreaking was the contrast between Bryson's public image and his private struggle. For years, audiences had seen a confident performer standing under bright lights. They heard a voice filled with warmth, strength, and elegance. Yet, like all human beings, he faced vulnerabilities that fame could not erase. Age brings challenges. Health can change without warning. Even legends are not immune to life's harsh realities. As concern intensified, friends from throughout the entertainment industry began expressing support. Many spoke publicly about Bryson's kindness. Others remembered his professionalism. Some reflected on the impact he had made on their own careers. The tributes painted a picture of a man respected not only for his talent but also for his character. Behind every award and every hit song stood a person who had earned admiration from peers and audiences alike. Still, the most important voices remained unheard. His family stayed quiet. Most notably, his wife said nothing. That silence became one of the biggest mysteries surrounding the entire situation. Some interpreted it as a sign of hope. Others feared it suggested something far more serious. But those closest to the family understood a simple truth. She was focused on her husband. Not the headlines. Not the rumors. Not the speculation. Only him. As June approached, the uncertainty reached a breaking point. Fans wanted answers. The media wanted answers. The music industry wanted answers. But the story unfolding behind closed doors was far more complicated than anyone realized. Because while the public followed every rumor, a series of deeply emotional moments was taking place within the family itself. Moments that would remain hidden from the world, at least for a while. And when the truth finally began to emerge, many people would discover that the reality was even more heartbreaking than they had imagined. Most shocking of all, the person who had remained silent through the entire ordeal was preparing to reveal details that would completely change how fans viewed those final days. After days of uncertainty, countless rumors, and non-stop speculation, the moment everyone had been waiting for finally arrived. The silence was broken. For fans who had spent decades admiring Peabo Bryson, it felt like the end of a long and painful period of unanswered questions. For his family, however, it was something very different. It was personal. It was emotional. And it was far more complicated than the public ever realized. Throughout the crisis, people across social media had demanded updates. Some questioned why so little information had been released. Others wondered why those closest to Bryson seemed unwilling to speak publicly. But when his wife finally addressed the situation, her message revealed a perspective that many had overlooked. She explained that while the world saw a legendary singer, she saw a husband. While fans remembered the Grammy Awards, the sold-out performances, and the timeless love songs, she remembered the quiet moments that never appeared on television. She remembered family dinners. She remembered private conversations. She remembered the man behind the fame. According to her account, the days surrounding his medical emergency were filled with uncertainty. There were moments of hope, moments of fear, moments when doctors appeared encouraged, and moments when the future seemed impossible to predict. The emotional strain affected everyone around him. Family members found themselves reliving memories from every stage of his remarkable life. His humble beginnings in South Carolina, the early years of struggle, the breakthrough success that transformed him into one of America's most beloved vocalists, the songs that became part of millions of people's lives, the awards, the recognition, the accomplishments, and above all, the relationships he built along the way. His wife reportedly reflected on something that surprised many fans. She said that despite all the honors he received throughout his career, the things that mattered most to him were often the simplest: family, friendship, faith, and gratitude. Those closest to Bryson described a man who never completely lost touch with the values that shaped him long before fame arrived. Even after becoming an internationally recognized artist, he remained remarkably grounded. Perhaps that was one reason audiences connected with him so deeply. People believed him when he sang about love because they sensed sincerity behind every lyric. That authenticity became the foundation of his legacy. As details slowly emerged, fans around the world responded with an outpouring of emotion. Tributes flooded social media. Radio stations revisited his greatest recordings. Longtime listeners shared stories about how his music had accompanied some of the most important moments of their lives. Wedding anniversaries, first dates, family celebrations, milestones both large and small. Again and again, people described the same experience. Peabo Bryson's voice had been there. For many, his music wasn't simply entertainment. It was part of their personal history. That realization helped explain why the public reaction was so intense. People felt as though they knew him, even if they had never met him. As his wife continued speaking, she reportedly emphasized another important point. She wanted people to remember more than the headlines, more than the rumors, more than the speculation. She wanted them to remember the life he lived, a life defined by perseverance, a life built through hard work, a life that transformed a talented young singer from South Carolina into a respected figure in American music. The impact of that journey extended far beyond chart positions and award ceremonies. His influence could be heard in generations of artists who followed him. His recordings continued introducing new listeners to classic R&B and adult contemporary music. And his Disney collaborations remained cherished by audiences around the world. Few performers managed to leave behind such a broad and lasting legacy. Bryson accomplished exactly that. In the weeks that followed, many observers reflected on the remarkable arc of his career. There had been obstacles. There had been setbacks. There had been health challenges that might have ended another person's story much earlier. Yet time after time, he continued moving forward. His determination became one of the defining themes of his life. And perhaps that is why so many people found themselves emotionally invested in his final chapter. Not because he was famous, but because his story felt human. It was a story about dreams, about resilience, about love, about aging, and about the bonds that remain important when everything else fades away. In the end, the statement from his wife left many people stunned not because it contained shocking secrets or dramatic revelations. It shocked them because of its honesty. Because behind the public figure was a family experiencing grief, uncertainty, and hope just like any other family would. The headlines had focused on the celebrity. Her words reminded people about the person. And that may be the most powerful legacy of all. For decades, Peabo Bryson gave the world unforgettable songs. Songs that celebrated love, connection, and the moments that matter most. Long after the news cycle moves on, those songs will remain. His voice will remain. And the memories created through his music will remain as well. That is how legends endure. Not simply through awards or achievements, but through the lives they touch. And for millions of people around the world, Peabo Bryson's music will continue telling that story for generations to come.